I feel like Brad about to cook on this.
That's what I get to come home to. That's the one thing that matters. All of this, it's awesome. It's cool. I love it. I love that I get to make a difference. I love that I get to talk to people every day. But at the end of the day, I come home to him, and that's what grounds me, so that I can go do everything else.
Wow.
Are you going to be prepared to let go of this then when the time comes?
Ooh, that's a good question.
How's that going to feel?
It's going to be hard, but I'm also so excited about it. Like, I'm already, like, those have been conversations that I've been having since the beginning. Like, I want this brand to grow with me. I want my show and my content to grow with me.
She's going to
so
move
that when that time comes, when I'm ready to have children, when I'm taking a step back, I want to homeschool my kids. When I'm dedicating that time to that, I want to be able to take my audience in this community along with me.
The maternity section from the comments.
There you go, exactly. And so I want it to be something that we're building towards, not that it's like a goodbye, like this is the end. But yeah, I think it'll be hard because, I'm used to this now. But again, I've never wanted anything more. And I'm so excited about it.
How would you categorize the state of dating advice for young people at the moment?
Terrible. It's awful. It's a
oh boy
treacherous landscape. It is just barren.
All right, we're gonna let her cook on that. We're gonna let her cook on that.
Dating today can feel overwhelming, but great connections are just around the corner. It's all about being confident, authentic, and knowing where to put your energy. Whether it's swiping right or starting a conversation in person, making that first move counts. Remember, genuine connections happen when you're open and present in the moment. With the right mindset, your perfect match is closer than you think. Dive into modern dating with confidence and discover what's really possible for you.
Glad I took a break, was able to recharge, spend some time with the family. Hope you had a great holiday and are preparing for an even safer Christmas holiday. If you have not, make sure you click and subscribe, hit the notification bell so you can get more content just like this. Today we're going to talk a little bit about state. You saw the thumbnail. We are reacting to the current state of dating advice from Brett Cooper. So for those of you that do not know or who don't know who Brett Cooper is, commentator, she was with the comment section from Brett Cooper. I'm pretty sure you've seen her clips going around TikTok. If you follow anything in the political relationship space, she's been there the past 7 years or so. She hosts the Brett Cooper Show independently. So she left the Daily Wire in 2024 and began her own channel on YouTube. So I believe she has over 25 million followers between all of her social media platforms. Married in 2024, talks a lot about religion, politics, conservative space. The reason this is important is because what I've said, if you guys have been following the channel for any length of time, these political commentators and these women are actually the feminist modern woman dream. And if you remember what we talk about here at TMG, we say that in order to get great dating outcomes, you have to be the best version of yourself, and you have to know who you are, what you want, and what you qualify for. We're seeing a lot in the political commentary space where the women in particular are espousing traditional views and traditional outcomes, but they're not giving traditional input. They are modern. Brett Cooper is modern. She is married to a gentleman who is wealthy, just like Candace Owens, just like, what's that other girl's name? Can't remember her name, but Candace Owens, also in Nashville. And it gives them the right and gives them the funding to go ahead and platform like this. But the reality is Brett Cooper was an actress, a singer, didn't work out, and she found that this was the best space for her with the comment section. She had sort of a falling out, not with the Daily Wire as a whole, but with her team. And so she went off and did her own thing. But she is now beginning to talk about what her life will look like once she enters into the motherhood journey, because she spent the last year and a half talking about being married. The other thing that I have said is these women that you see when you don't see them with a man, they're all going to pop up with a man. Pearl, gonna pop up with a man. Because they not listening to the women that they talk to every day, and they're not letting them into their relationship space. They're picking their man. Issa Rae did it a couple of years ago, and they're keeping it quiet. And then they announce, "Hey, I'm married," and then everyone floods them. Oh my God, it's so great! It's so great. And so Brett is just the latest in this. But on a former episode, it's the lie about dating. I wanted to do a continuation of our last video. We'll only do a couple more videos this year in this series, why men have stopped dating. Brett is going to talk about the state of modern dating. And I want you to hear it from her, because you're going to hear it from a cute girl instead of hearing it from me. Because when you hear it from me, you know, that's not the truth, but that's who that is. So that sets it up. So the current state of dating advice, here's the question that she was asked.
Dating advice for young people at the moment?
Terrible. It's awful. It's a treacherous landscape. It is just barren. One thing that I've been talking a lot about on the show, and I would actually love to hear your thoughts on this, because we've talked about dating here and there. I just don't think my generation knows how.
They don't. You don't know how to date. And the reason you don't know how to date is because you don't know how to fail. Everything has been manufactured and delivered to you and curated for your own personal taste and preference. So you don't know how to date. You have to fail at date. You have to walk across a room at a dance and ask a girl to dance, and she tell you no a couple times, and then you realize what level you are. And then you start working on your game. But people don't even know how to talk to each other. You guys spend more time on YouTube, TikTok, and Instagram than going out in public talking to people. I am literally now frustrated seeing at restaurants, at Disney, on a Disney cruise, everyone in their phone. You're on a Disney cruise where they got princesses dressed up. You're at a dinner with your friends and family, the people that you love with, the people you've decided to spend time with, and you're in your phone. You don't know how to date and be present.
Like, I was never taught how to date. My first dating experiences were on dating apps, which is wild. And so I hear about young men not wanting to approach women, and obviously there's the Me Too movement. There's a lot of concerns about rejection. Women are now saying, by and large, they want to be approached, but obviously so many women are just like, oh, that's creepy, whatever. It's just...
Okay, let's break that down, because that's all we're talking about from this. Shout out to Modern Wisdom, fair use. I got my LaCroix too. I'm fancy. LaCroix was the sponsor of this video. Let's break that down. Me Too has nothing to do with the fact that dating is broken. So take that out. I don't care what you're saying. I've said it here. Me Too is not the reason that men are not approaching women. Men are not approaching women because they are frustrated with the rejection, and they are frustrated with the standards that modern women are giving men. To be a basic man in 2025 going to 2026, it's not enough anymore for the average modern woman. Average looks, average weight, average fitness, average personality, average financial background. You have to be 3 or 5 times better than her. So what it has created are channels like this for Modern Wisdom, channels like the comment section with brettcooper, and I'm the contrarian on the other side of the discussion, saying that men need to do the work on themselves in order to get the better dating outcome. But men don't like being rejected, and what they're choosing now on a larger basis is peace. They don't want to be bothered with a woman. The benefits of being with a woman in their mind is less than the risk or the input in order to have a woman. Let that sink in. And I have said that the best outcome for any society at any point, in any time in history, is one man with one woman, long-term relationship, marriage, children, legacy as a result. You have to align yourself with something bigger. That's why when I say you're not a Christian, go become a Christian. If you tell me you're a Muslim or you are Jewish, I will ask you questions about how are you living that in your practice. You have to align yourself with something bigger. This is why military, this is why sports, this is why involvement in Cub Scouts, Boy Scouts, Girl Scouts are important, because you're learning principles as you mature. We've stopped all of that. Sports participation in middle and high school down to its lowest level. You remove inner city schools and rural football programs in the South, very little. There are schools that are canceling football and basketball programs. There's no interest. There are colleges that are canceling D2, D3, D1. They're canceling programs related to sports because there's no interest. You're not aligned to anything. You're not connected. You're not subscribing yourself to a bigger vision. We're in the middle of football season, and now we're going to be looking at the playoff rush. Teams that have committed and sold out for the vision of their franchise are the teams that are winning. Everyone who's out there for themselves, or people who are kind of sort of on the fence, they're not winning. The teams aren't winning. Ownership who's not sold out. You have to align yourself with something greater. This is why you're also struggling in corporate America right now. So taking off my dating hat and putting on my corporate hat, because some of you come here because of the corporate background that I have as a 15-year executive leader in and outside of the security space and through consulting, which I prefer. Y'all come to the jobs and you don't want to align yourself with the vision. You're asking questions about what's my purpose here. Well, the vision of the company is X. Do you believe in that vision? That's why I tell people, when you come to me and talk about what should I do for a job, I'm like, what do you like to do? And you tell me what you like to do. It's like, go work for a company that does that. Someone who's broke, I'm like, oh, go, what's a product that you like? Oh, I like HVAC systems and heating and cooling. Go work for an HVAC company and be their top salesman, and subscribe yourself to their belief and their methodology and start winning. But y'all don't know how to get rejected because y'all not aligned with them. Losing in sports teaches you more about yourself than winning.
Very confusing. There are nuances in dating and approaching women and starting relationships that you kind of have to just learn. And my generation, I don't think we've ever had to do that. I mean,
no, you never had to do it because her generation is, I believe she's the younger part of Gen Z. Now we're in Gen Alpha, and then we got Gen Beta. So millennials were pretty much the last generation that had to go out to get their relationship or romantic outcomes. And if you don't have the fame concept, it's completely broken. It's going to be more work than you actually plan to input in to get the outcome. But when we look at that generationally, you grew up with social media, you grew up on dating apps, so now you're in your late 20s, early 30s, and you're trying to figure out dating. You don't have an algorithm telling you what to do. You don't know how to approach someone at Target. You don't know how to strike up a conversation. Most of you don't know how to flirt. And she says, I wasn't taught that. That's because y'all mamas, as Pearl Davis says, was side pieces and y'all daddies was Rolling Stones. So no one taught you how to do anything because you didn't see it. Most of us, if we're being honest, didn't have what I was blessed to have. 2 parents in the household, married and in love with each other until death. Most people are Rolling Stones, products of divorce, products of separation, products of one-night stands. There is no commitment and there's no connection there. So you are not going to develop. You are now in the dating market and in the employment pool, and you are struggling. Here is why. That's why we say you need to get into therapy. That's why I say you need to get to church. That's why I say you need to get a mentor. Ain't been taught nothing. It's 2025 going in 2026. There's plenty of channels out here that can teach you about manhood and womanhood and how to be a woman. There are people out here like myself who are not doing this because we love it. We're doing it because we want to see the better outcome in the environment and in society.
and again, like I went to UCLA, was 18, but I went in as a junior. And I joined a sorority because I wanted to have like the all-American traditional experience. Wanted to do something traditional for once in my life. And right after I rushed the sorority and got in, I was sitting in a room with my big, and she was like,
Your what?
My big. Do you know what that is?
No.
Okay, so in Greek life, you have like bigs and littles. So I was somebody's little. So when I joined the sorority, there was somebody who had already joined a year prior.
Right.
And they like usher you in, or your mentor, your friend.
Cool.
Yeah,
okay.
Bigs and littles. So I was with my big.
We're on the same page. Yep.
Yes. And fraternities had that as well. Anyway, I was sitting with her in her room, and they were shocked that I had never been on Tinder, that I had never dated before. They were shocked that I was a virgin. I mean, it was just like, like, this is insane. How could you? And I mean, and I found out later on, I mean, these girls had multiple abortions and were very, very sexually and, relationship wise ahead of me. And I had not thought anything of it up until this point because I hadn't been around it and I just kind of stayed in my own bubble. And they're like, well, you got to get on Tinder. You got to do it. And there's no hazing allowed at UCLA. There's no, especially not in.
That's the problem right there. Women are keeping women single. Y'all did it to 17-year-old Brett. It sounded like 17, 18, 19-year-old Brett. So she got on Tinder and probably lost her mind. Sorry, I'm eating. I've seen y'all do that on these channels now.
Sororities, but they kind of made a joke and they're like, you're going to be your hazing. You need to get on dating apps. This is how you're going to date.
Oh, God.
And it was so weird. The boy that I dated in college, like my college boyfriend, met on Hinge. Like that was how I dated. That's how everyone around me dated. And so when I hear, people online, when I'm reading in the comment section, like, I don't know how to approach somebody. I'm so nervous. Girls not knowing how to respond. Mm-hmm. It's because we've completely lost that. It's not their fault. It's because they just.
You want to know how to respond, ladies? Respond to it like it's your favorite actor, singer, or performer, or athlete. They approach you and they said, hello, my name is Josh Allen. Hello, my name is Lamar Jackson. Hello, my name is Jalen Hurts. Nice to, what's your name? That's all you got to do. You everything becomes biological when you remove all of the BS. You don't know how to respond to a guy or be approached by a guy because you're not really interested. You have created, modern woman, a list, a walking, talking, sentient list that a man has to be in order to line up with your expectation of you dating him. It's what I said earlier in this video. You literally have to be an above average man to get a below to average woman by modern woman standards. Make that make sense. And that's why I tell young men, go become above average so you don't have to deal with that. Go become above average. Don't even bother. Take 10 years off. 18 to 33 is 15 years. Put your head down. Work on a high value skill. Get your first and second promotion. Get out of debt. Put money away. Buy a 2-bedroom condo or 2-bedroom apartment in vertical living in your city of choice. Go back to homecoming at 33 to 35 and then pick somebody. You're not going to deal with that because you've been spending the last 15 years working on yourself and building something for yourself. So now when you meet someone, you're going to be more prone to be cautious. You're not going to look at her as 36, 24, 38 and say, oh, I got to get that. You're going to be like, I'm not about to ruin what I've done for that. So I need to know what's going on with her head. Women don't know how to get approached because you don't want to be approached by an average guy. Stop the cat.
Just gone online. You're sliding into DMs. You're swiping right and left. And that's an addictive game in and of itself.
Yeah, it's game, too much game.
And so then now we're seeing, droves of people leaving dating apps, especially with everything that like Bumble did. Bumble had a huge loss when they did their ridiculous rebrand, the most idiotic thing they've ever done. People wanting to be off the apps, but not knowing how to date outside of them. So it really is, it's abysmal for a lot of reasons, but especially that is what I've been thinking about recently.
Yeah, I had this idea of mutually assured deception, which I think is what a lot of people have. They're so scared of opening up because one of the worst things that you can be is gullible and naive in dating. There's something kind of cool about being aloof and a bit sardonic and a bit standoffish. I'm too good for this.
What did I just say? Men, 15 years, put your head down. Go work on yourself. I say 10 at first because I want you to go do it for 10 years. Come out at the end of year 10, beginning of year 11, take a look and realize it's still awful and just wait. 35 is the prime of life for most North American men to be starting making a long-term relationship decision, including marriage, engagement and marriage. 35 for that man. And then at 35, you can go with the range. You can range up 10 or down. It depends. You can range up 10 more years, or you can range down 10 years. And you'll get the same basic outcome. Because if she's 10 years older than you, she's been through a lot of the mess for 25 years of dating. And by the time she get to you, you ain't gonna have to deal with all that. But if she's 25, she hasn't had enough life experience and you can bring her along. So you come together and make a deal. And then everybody in between. But it's,
there's no way that you could hurt me. Yeah, it's sort of easy come, easy go.
Yeah.
But I think that is just a suboptimal solution to a suboptimal problem.
Yeah.
Like that is.
No, that the skepticism in dating is a big problem. It's one of the bigger problems. People are going into the arrangement with bad faith. We didn't go into the arrangement during our season of our 20s in bad faith. We were going out there trying to choose and be, the women were trying to be chosen. And they still came from broken homes too. So it's cultural. It's social media and dating apps that told you that the next better thing is around the corner. LinkedIn, the next better job is around the corner. That's why you can't make your current job work and you and your boss can't get along. Indeed, there's another job. We'd like to hire you to do X. So you think that there are all these opportunities out there, and that's not how life works.
Is someone trying to reverse engineer the dating environment into their preferences as opposed to doing it the other way around.
Yeah.
So yeah, you have two people, neither of whom are prepared to open up fully in case they get hurt, both of whom are terrified of being hurt, and both of whom just never show themselves to the other person.
Correct.
So yeah, I think that's a big concern. And then when it comes to the approaching thing and the being in real life, it's always been that way. Like the reason that the guy that founded CBT was to overcome his approach anxiety for women. That was originally what it was designed for. So this has happened for as long as time has been around. The difference now, I think, is that any small psychological challenge becomes pathologized and becomes laid at the feet of the modern world. So this is because of Tinder. This is because of online dating. It's like, what if this was just endemic to being a guy?
Yeah.
No, because God gave man instincts. And when he sees a pretty girl with face, hair, smile, and body that he likes, something natural happens. It's biological. Like, I want that. And then once you choose that and commit to that, you want to keep that. All of this is fluff. This is too modern for me. Y'all need to take a couple steps back. You're scared of getting rejected, men. So you're acting like boys and guys and males. That's easier to be. You still gets attention in that because women are silly. I can change it. You can't. You can't change it. And stop blaming society. I said that it's society's influence with social media and dating apps that's led to this. That's factual. The data shows it. In each of the dating apps, the companies have lost half of their valuations.
That approaching a woman is going to be scary and always going to be scary. And maybe the difference now is that you're just a bit less socially adept. You haven't spent that much more.
Yeah, he said it. Approaching a woman is scary. It's supposed to be scary. Because when you see something that you like, men, and you want it, you have to be willing to go fight for it. That's the problem. Y'all don't want to fight for nothing. Y'all don't want to fight. I'm going to tell you where else you don't want to fight. And this gets me on my soapbox. I'm eating. Y'all don't want to fight in fantasy and betting, and y'all, that's what y'all do all day. I know people that are using algorithms and AI apps in order to kind of cheat their way into a fantasy victory. One of the leagues I'm in. Guy had to kick 2 people out mid-season because they found a way to keep changing the players out after mid-game. You don't even want to take an L in a fantasy. You don't want to take an L in a video game. You don't want to take an L in sports. You don't want to take an L dating. You don't want to take an L after the interview. Make sense. Y'all losers. Grow up.
Time out and about, you don't have robust social networks, you don't really know as many people, that kind of a thing. And what it feels like from the inside is, oh my God, if only it was 50 years ago, this would have been super easy, which actually takes a lot of agency away from you, which would have been, it was going to be hard then in 1960.
It was always going to be hard.
Precisely.
And the conditions
you can overcome
are different.
Correct.
The conditions are different, and you have to acknowledge that. But that should not be the reason why you turn inward and just say, never mind, I'm giving it up because there is no hope. There were always going to be problems. There was always going to be hurdles that you had to overcome with dating. Dating is not easy. It's not fun. Nobody.
Guys, I don't know where y'all got that from. We were dating. Do you hear me? We had dates every Thursday, Friday, and or Saturday when we were single. And if you're in a relationship and you ain't been on a date, hire a babysitter and go. If you have a friend who's married with kids and they haven't been on a date and you're watching this, call them up and offer to watch their kids so they can go on a date. If you've never helped another couple, you'll never be in a couple. Help them out. I've been blessed to have good friends. Hey, I'm by myself this week. I got a 1 and a 3-year-old and somebody drives in or flies in. So when they have their kids, just drop them off here. You sure? Yeah. Enjoy Europe. We got it. Well, what about that? I ain't doing all that. I'm gonna make sure that they alive and they have fun. Man, this opera is good. I see why y'all like it.
Likes, opening up, and being very vulnerable and be like, stab me in the heart if you don't like me. I mean, nobody likes that. But if you acknowledge that and understand that, the risk could come with just an incredible reward and an incredible payoff, but you do have to take responsibility and you do have to take those steps. I also think for women, especially, women by and large are having, they're setting these insane standards and very, very superficial standards. I mean, you see it on.
There we go. All right, this is why y'all came. This is how we started the video with a little teaser. We want to understand what Brett about to say. She about to cook on him. I already know. Oh, I'm hungry.
On social media, there was that whole trend of like, I want a guy in finance who's 6'5", blue eyes. Did you see that? She wrote this whole song about it. Yeah. And it's a joke, but it's not, because they have this image in their mind of what kind of guy they want. And I think they see a lot of relationships on social media. They see men on social media. This is going to be the guy that's available to me. When you look at those numbers of, the percentage for both men and women of men who are whatever height they want, make, 6 figures plus, are single, are not overweight, are between this age bracket.
It's a rounding error. Yeah.
Yeah. And the same goes for women. Of like, if you want a woman who is not on the left, is not on.
Let's look that up. He's talking about the delusional calculator. We got the female delusional calculator, and this we've done it before. So when she says, let's say most women say, I want a guy who's 28 to 44. The fact that they have to exclude married. Let's say you are a white woman and you want a white woman. You want him to be at least 6 feet, exclude obese. Minimum income. It has to make 6 figures, but you don't really mean 100,000. What you really mean about like that. According to the statistical data, the probability of a guy of the U.S. male population ages 28 to 43 who meets your standard is 0.039%. That is 0.071% of all white men at that age range. You don't belong on this planet. Okay. Let's do a new search. Let's say I want them to be black. And because black men earn less, let's go ahead and drop it and say he's at 205. 0.014%. Okay. Let's say, you know what? Any color or shade, I want to know what it is. At minimum is 6 feet, and what y'all really mean is 6'1". Let's say minimum income. Let's go down and just say it's only 6 figures. This is fine. You have a 0.4% to find any man that's not married, obese, at least 6 feet, that makes $100,000 a year. You are a cat enthusiast based on this website saying you need to just go ahead and get your cats. That is the delusion standard, and that is what we talk about. Women are making decisions like that without even ever taking a look at the data. And that is why it's delusional. Meanwhile, if you get a guy who makes average male income is estimated to be around 71,000. So that takes all the high earners, that takes all the low earners, so 71. So let's just say it's 70. Oh, it took you off the screen and took you back to Brett. I noticed that. Here's the page in case you need it. I got standards, bro. All right, exclude married, minimum height, the average height. Yeah, we go to this. Five feet 9. So I'll say 5'7" and 71,000 a year. Please make it 60. That is a better. You got a 10% chance to meet a guy 20 through 40. Congratulations. You have a better opportunity. You haven't played yourself. That's the best score that I've ever seen on the delusional scale. You make 65, at least 5'7", not married, any race, any weight. Well, Glenn, I don't want that. I want a guy who's 6'5", 225 solid, built like LeBron James, makes money like LeBron James, is a billionaire, loves his mama, but not a mama's boy. Y'all delusional.
Any kind of antidepressants. It was, a certain weight. That one is
I love
insane.
the fact that the equivalent for women of a guy being 6 foot and
Yes,
6
is
figures with a six
not
pack is
mental.
not on antidepressants and not on the left.
Not on
Yes,
antidepressants.
not obese.
Yeah.
I mean, and again, tiny. And obviously, I'm not saying have no standards. The bar is, on the floor.
Mm.
But you also have to meet people where they are, and you also have to know what you're bringing to the table, and be aware of like what you will be able to get. Basically, like what is the mutual.
This is why y'all wanted to cancel Brett. She said, "Bring to the table," and what do modern women say? I am the table. You're not the table. You're no parts of the table. You're not the legs. You're not the chair. You ain't even the tablecloth. You ain't the napkins. You ain't the silverware. You ain't the cups. You ain't the plates. You're not the place setting. The table is the relationship. And when you say you are the table, it creates this delusion. So I'm gonna let Brett cook because she's a white girl.
What am I trying to say here? To figure out the right way to phrase this. It's like, who is your equal partner in the dating marketplace?
Do you think that there's a case for settling in that case?
Remember I talked about earlier that the conservative spectrum is full of women who are the feminist dream? Traditional women don't say partner, they say husband. Traditional men don't say partner, they say wife. So when you say that you are looking for a partner, you are looking for a joint venture of two unequal parties. The men that you want, ladies, are not interested in partnership. They're interested in headship and they're interested in you being a wife. If you don't want that, then you follow this strategy that Brett's about to lay out, and then maybe you'll marry a millionaire. How much does he make? I'm sorry, she has 1.6 million subscribers and 112 million views. That's what she has. I'm not paying Wikipedia once a week. Stop asking me that. There's no such thing as settling. 25 years ago is when it all started. In 2000, we started believing that the outcomes that we saw on TV and we had seen maybe on the internet were the outcomes that I deserved. We used to be very local and regional and national, and then we became international with our taste. So we started believing what I can get is what I am seeing the celebrities have on TV. That's why it's called programming. So I'll talk about my community. We literally saw from the 1980s on a shutdown in Black love. It was rare. Even on TV, we still had the Huxtables, then we had Martin in the 90s, then we had a couple things in the early 2000s, Jamie Foxx, Steve Harvey, D.L. Hughley, and then we had Married, My Wife and Kids with the Waynes. There were fewer of those, there were maybe 4 of those shows on at a time. But what did we see? We saw the black male go with the racially ambiguous girl or the white girl. So the programming was, I want that. Look back at all of your videos from the 2000s and then early 90s. They went from race specific to they began mixing. And so when you get 25 plus years of that, that's what we see in the marketplace. It's not a bad thing. It just explains how we got here.
I don't think of it as settling. I think of it as being, again, aware of what your options are and what you're bringing to the table.
What you qualify for, and knowing with what you qualify for and whom you qualify for, know what they want from you. It's not settling. You guys don't know how to measure data and measure inputs versus outputs, and you don't know how to generate outcome. So you say things like, well, I'm settling when I get with him. Well, deliver me from people right now who are entertaining people they have no interest in. Stop entertaining people you know you don't like. You see no future with them. Well, it's just something to do, Glenn. Grow up. Go volunteer at the church. Go volunteer at a soup kitchen. Go spend time with your mama. Go spend time with your grandmama who in a nursing home. Grow up.
Talk to women all the time, and I want this, I want this, I want this. What are you bringing?
Nothing. Me. I'm enough.
Like, are you the type of woman that these men are going to go for? Are you the high value woman? I kind of hate those terms, but the high.
Okay, well, I don't hate them terms because that's what we define in the book and we trademark. So, high value woman is aligned with the high value man. A high value woman is less than 5% of the market. High value men are 10%. So there are 5% of high value men who are single, or they're settling with traditional women or modern women. Or God forbid they had kids with a city girl or a female, which is why they struggle getting to high value status. Because a female and a city girl are never going to allow you to focus on your purpose. They're looking for partnership. See, it makes sense. That's why you can't find a high value man, because your language, what you're communicating, is modern. It's too variable and it's too me focused and me dependent. You're not sold out for the larger purpose, which is the outcome.
High value woman, the high value man. If you aren't going to the gym, if you aren't taking care of yourself,
that's not.
If you don't like.
That's basically the standard. So I'm gonna cut her off. That's basically the standard for most women. I'm not gonna shame women for wanting someone fit when they're fit. I am gonna shame women when they're unfit and they want a fit man. You got to deliver me from that. But I want to know what you think. I'll leave the video here. Dating. A lie that ruined a generation. Brettcooper. I can get any man that I want. I qualify for the best version of that man, of any man, at any given time, in any given market. Want to know what you think. Ladies, are you modern? Is Brett modern? Ladies, are you finding that you're getting the dating outcome that you want, or the air quote partnership that you want? And if not, why? I'd like to know your thoughts. Make sure you hit the notification bell, hit the subscribe, leave a comment, share this video, share this clip, and look at the last video. I'm your host, I am the author, I am the creator, I am Glenn. How to get great dating outcomes in a modern world. Parts 1 and 2 are still available on our website. It's never sharing what I wanted to share. It's hilarious. There we go. There we go. You can just click on preferences and then go in and purchase both books about the author. We started to see some more reviews come in on all the websites, so thank you for that. But available on Amazon. I'm gonna go there. That's how we do it. Go buy the book, parts 1 and 2 right now. If you're with your favorite content creator, you may see a promo code for it that gives you 50% off, or it gives you both books for the cost of one. Same thing, but those are the promos that we decided to run with some of the people that we've worked with over the past couple of years. But thank you for joining us. Have a great rest of your day.